Welcome to Miss Luls Economics, where we make economics simple, clear, and exam ready. Let's learn, understand, and succeed together. Hi, everyone. Today we're looking at public sector failure. This happens when government intervention causes inefficiency instead of improving the economy. Let's explore why this occurs and what factors contribute to it. Here's your essay question. Discuss in detail factors that contribute to public sector failure. You must explain each factor clearly with examples. Structure is essential. The introduction is 2 marks, main part 26 marks, additional part 10 marks covered in another video, and conclusion 2 marks. Follow this structure for full marks. Let's start with the introduction. Keep it simple and direct. Public sector failure occurs when government actions lead to a less efficient allocation of resources than if it did nothing. It happens when the state cannot manage its resources properly. Now let's discuss the main factors that cause public sector failure, step by step. To help remember these factors, we use the mnemonic. My little brother plays soccer at Sundowns. Each word represents one cause of public sector failure. Management failure happens when state-owned entities are not accountable to taxpayers. They answer to Parliament and may prioritize personal objectives over public welfare. SOEs receive funding based on projected costs, not profits. This can cause inefficiency and misuse of resources. Management failure is common in state-owned enterprises like Eskom or Transnet. When leaders focus on personal agendas instead of public welfare, service delivery suffers and resources are wasted. Now that we understand management failure, let's look at another reason: lack of motivation among public sector workers. Lack of motivation occurs because public sector workers have limited profit incentives. This can lead to inefficiency, like overstaffing, and reluctance to make people redundant due to political concerns. Without incentives, workers may not improve services. For example, municipalities may be overstaffed, and redundancies are avoided to prevent political backlash, slowing down service delivery. Next, we examine bureaucracy. Excessive red tape can make even simple tasks complicated and slow. Bureaucracy refers to government structures with rigid hierarchies, specialized roles, and inflexible rules. It can slow down simple tasks due to red tape. Although bureaucracy can be inefficient, it is necessary for large agencies to function. Specialization, rules, and hierarchy help maintain order if managed well. Bureaucracy can frustrate citizens.
Long queues at license offices or complex permit procedures are classic examples of how rigid rules
Slow down government services. Bureaucracy aside, political pressures also contribute to inefficiency.
Let's see how politicians influence public sector failure. Indeed, political agendas often hinder effective governance.
Politicians may prioritize votes over efficiency. Resource allocation, like building schools or roads, can be influenced by upcoming elections or lobby groups, sometimes ignoring social benefits. Politicians may prioritize vote-maximizing projects, like building roads or schools just before elections. This can misallocate resources, sometimes ignoring true social benefit. Let's consider structural weaknesses, when government systems or objectives conflict and fail to deliver results. Structural weaknesses happen when government objectives conflict or fail. Poor public service delivery can undermine economic progress and affect investors' perceptions. Structural weaknesses can occur when objectives conflict. For instance, aggressive redistribution can hurt growth, while poor service delivery affects investor confidence. Structural issues aside, apathy among officials can also cause public sector failure. Let's explore this factor. Apathy is a lack of interest or concern. An apathetic official will fail to deliver services, leaving citizens without support during emergencies or social needs. Apathy occurs when officials lack interest in serving the public. For example, an apathetic minister may delay social grants or disaster relief, harming vulnerable households. Finally, let's see how special interest groups influence government decisions, sometimes at the expense of ordinary citizens. Special interest groups, like trade unions, can influence government to allocate resources in their favor. It comes times at the expense of vulnerable households. Special interest groups, like trade unions, can pressure government to allocate resources in their favor. For instance, the 2013 Americana strike shows how priorities can shift away from poor households. Now that we've explored all the factors that contribute to public sector failure, let's do a quick recap to help you remember the key points for your exam. Let's quickly recap the factors we've covered. First up, management failure, and leaders prioritize personal agendas over efficient service delivery. Next, lack of motivation. Public sector workers sometimes have little incentive to improve services, leading to inefficiency and overstaffing. Now, bureaucracy. Excessive rules and rigid procedures can slow down even simple tasks, frustrating citizens and creating inefficiency. Politicians can influence resource allocation to maximize votes. Decisions may favor political gain over social benefit. Structural weaknesses occur when government objectives conflict or systems fail. Poor service delivery and conflicting goals reduce efficiency. Apathy among officials can halt effective service delivery. Lack of concern for citizens' needs weakens public sector performance. Finally, special interest groups can pressure government to favor their needs, sometimes at the expense of ordinary citizens. These factors explain why government intervention may not always improve efficiency. Understanding them helps in analyzing public policies critically. In conclusion, public sector failure occurs when the government mismanages resources due to management issues, lack of motivation, structural weaknesses, or influence from special interest groups. If you found this helpful, like, share, and subscribe. Turn on notifications for more exam-focused economics videos. Keep revising these reasons for top marks. That's it for public sector failure. Goodbye for now. Be sure to check out our synced up playlists for more videos you can watch in order. I'm Miss Luls. I see our channel is growing, and I'd like to thank you all for your support. Goodbye. God bless.